taking out time. Thank you for making out little time from your busy schedule to join this session. I'm really excited to have you here, and I know you're excited as well. So, you're welcome to the onboarding session. I know you've heard about Datafied. So, this is the session where we'll talk about us, what we do, and your journey for the next 4 months. So, let's get started. So, for this presentation, I will be introducing us as a company so you get to know about Datafied and what we do. You also get to know what we offer as a services and aside the trainings we organize, the other things that we do as a company. I will also give you an insight into our drive as a company, and also we'll talk about yes, okay, sorry, my mic was muted. So we'll talk about our drive and what we do. Then we'll go ahead and welcome you officially to the training. You are our data heroes, and we are really, really excited to have you on board. Then next, we'll go to your journey for the next 4 months. So what will the course look like? What's the roadmap like? And we'll give you like a very, very detailed breakdown of what you should expect and what you'll be doing for the next 4 months. You also get to meet your facilitators and the facilitators that will be taking you through this journey and helping you build your data analytics portfolio. You also get to know what we as an organization or what your facilitators expect for you. We'll also drill down on our communication channels and we'll leave room for question and answers. So first of all, who are we? Who is Datafied? Datafied, I would say we are a startup and we are a leading data-centric company that helps and empower businesses and individuals worldwide by simplifying data concepts and driving success in a data-driven era. So we are focused on building scalable data solutions for organizations and individuals. I actually have two subsidiaries. We have the Datafied Academy, which is what you're enrolled in now. So, Datafied Academy is the arm of the business that actually organizes trainings for individuals as well as organizations. We also do consultancy. So the consultancy arm is where we actually work with businesses to help them make sense out of their data. So some of our offerings are trainings and workshop. We also do business intelligence for organization. We do data analysis and visualization. We are also into predictive analytics, data mining and management, and also consulting. So whatever your data needs, we are always there to help you out to and customize it to your needs. So what do we say is a drive? For us at Datafied, we are very, very passionate about taking the technicalities associated with any data concept and breaking it down in such a way that it is understood by a 5-year-old. So with this passion, we want to help individuals. We want to help you guys simplify any learning complications as you go through your data journey and become a data professional. So we are really passionate about this, and most of what we do is actually built on this passion or drive. So now we want to officially welcome you guys, our Titans. So on my slide on the screen, you can see there's a format. So I want to meet you guys in person, and I want to get to know you, at least some of your details, if not like all of it. So you have to follow this format. You tell us your name, you give us a background, also maybe your educational background is okay. You tell us where you're joining from, you tell us why you chose data analytics and what are your expectations from this course. So I'm going to start with Blessing. So Blessing, I don't know if you like to unmute yourself and tell us about yourself. You can also show your face. We would like to see your face as well. Hello, Blessing. Are you there? Okay. Hi, Blessing. If you're speaking, you are muted. I don't know if you can hear me, Blessing. So the next person should go. I'll call on Steve. Steve. Don't know if you can hear me, Steve. Hello, Steve. Okay. You can also drop your you can also drop your information on the chat if you're not in a good position to speak. Um, that'll be fine. So the next person I can see on my list is Mr. Lucky Tech. I don't know what your full name is, but I can say something like that.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, hi, good afternoon.
Everyone can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Um, my name is Miracle is Chuku, and
Okay,
background. Uh, okay.
yeah,
In Abuja. Also,
okay.
why I want to learn why data analysis is I see it as a good as a good skill for the future because really right now most of the things are really going back into AI trying to do many things. But for when it comes to data, it's still the human hands that would really be doing it, and it will also be something that would be in demand in the near future. So that's why I choose on doing data analysis. And then my expectations. Okay, my expectations. I plan on learning. I don't really know. No, I'm not sure if I have much expectation, but I know that I want to learn and be good at it. That is it. That is,
Thank you, Miracle. So definitely you will learn and you'll be very good at it. I can assure you. I can see Chikezie. Chikezie, do you want to say hi to us? Do you want to tell us your name? And I would love to see your face as well. I do not see Miracle's face. Hi, Chikezie.
Hi,
Oh,
good evening.
yeah. Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm very well. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah,
Good
good
evening.
evening.
My name is
So,
Chikezi Harris Chibike, and I'm based in Abuja. I The reason why I chose to take on data analysis is because I wanted to venture into tech, and I feel and according to my researches so far, I believe that data analysis is the fastest and the less complex mode of approaching a tech career or building a tech career. So, and I hope to be able to grab every teaching that will be taught on this space, and I hope that from now going forward that I'll pick more interest and commit to it and see how far this can actually change my life.
All right, thank you so much, Chikeze. I would also say I can assure you, you're definitely going to learn about the fact that you said data analytics is the fastest way to things. And yeah, fine. Being working in tech is really cool, and I feel you actually learn a lot. You solve a lot of problems, so you should be ready. You should be curious, and you should always want to get your hands dirty. It might look really like flashy, but on the inside, you know what we're facing. So I'm not trying to scare you, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Cynthia, hi Cynthia. Cynthia, can you hear me? I would like to know you, not just your name. So if you can introduce yourself, that would be really nice. Hello, Cynthia, are you there? Okay. Hi, Mira. Hello, Mira. I think some people already dropped messages on the chat. I'm going to read them. Ezekiel said, my Ezekiel Honor said, is a biologist and an educator, besides in Abuja. Aside the money, okay, yeah, aside the money, I want to help people make policy decisions. My expectation is to master the skill in this course. Definitely, Ezekiel, I would also endorse that we are the best people for the job. You will definitely master the skill if you put everything we teach you to practice. And you're a biologist and an educator. Well done to you as well. And I also like the fact that you want to help people make quality decisions. So that's really cool. And I think everybody here is in Abuja. So what's happening? Please, oh, are you guys going to invite me to Abuja? Because I'm coming. I think I will come to Abuja very soon because all my students are in Abuja. Okay, so Mira, hi Mira. Mira said she's also based in Abuja. She's the world is moving to tech, so she wants to evolve with time. Oh, Miracle said is inviting me. Okay, well, please when are you inviting me? Let's talk. Okay, so I don't know if I've exhausted everybody on the call. Please, if I have not, Cynthia, we're still waiting for you to introduce yourself, as well as Steve. I don't know about. I don't know if Steve has given. I don't know if Steve has Steve given anything introduction. Um, okay. So Cynthia, Steve, I noticed Judith is going on and off. Maybe she has issues with her network. I'm not sure about that. But what see would like to meet you guys as well. So I think we should move past this introduction phase. Thank you everyone that volunteered to introduce yourself. I did not introduce myself. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Clara. Um I'm a data analyst, a business intelligence expert, and I'm a co-founder at Datafied Academy. I'm really happy to have you here. I have a background in health. Let me just say I'm a health person, but I switched to tech. I currently stay in Lagos. Um, and by data analytics, my journey actually started out of curiosity. So I really liked. Actually was very good in numbers, but I was also really curious. I heard about data analytics and I did my research and I was really liking what I saw and I decided to go into data analytics. Okay, so Chidebere. Okay, save. Oh, Chidebere. Chidebere is on the call as well. Chidebere is a public health officer based in Owerri. Chose data analytics skills to add it to my side hustle, and my expectation is to make a living out of it. Thank you so much. Definitely, the data field is very broad. Everybody has his own share of course, and definitely you'll make a living out of it. So thank you. We'll move past this introduction phase. If you've not introduced yourself, we'd still like to know and meet you in person, not in person or the call, right? But just to know your personality. Um, so we'll move over to the next thing we have, which is the course roadmap and telling you, giving you like a very detailed breakdown of what the course is going to be for the next 4 months. Please, I would love all of us to like pay attention because this is like critical. And I will hand over to my colleague Namdi to handle that aspect. Thank you so much.
Hi, Clara. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the introductory part you've taken. Clara, I do appreciate. All right, it's nice meeting every one of you on the call. Even though this is not my expectation, I actually am an expressive human being, so I will always express my mind. I wish you can do better, right? So I expect that we are able to unmute our mics, except we are maybe at work. I understand some people are working. You might be in the office now, and maybe your setting is a place where you cannot speak. So that's understandable. So please, let's be as expressive as possible, because that is one way we can get to know each other. That is one way we can get to, understand what's in your mind, and we rub minds together. All right. So, guys, again, you're all welcome. I'm happy to have every one of you on the call. So, I'm going to take you through the remaining part of this onboarding session. Please feel free to ask questions. In case you have any question right now, just pen it down. And once we get to the Q&A section, feel free to unmute your mic and then ask your question. All right, so if you're in a noisy place, it's understandable. Thank you for letting me know that you're in a noisy place, Mira. All right, guys, so let's move on to the next agenda. Here is where we'll be talking about the course roadmap. So we'll begin with the very first course, which is going to be Introduction to Data Analytics. So in this course, we'll talk more about what data analytics is all about. So this is the very first course we're starting with. And this course will be starting next week, Monday. Now, after which we jump on to the next course, which is spreadsheet package for data analytics plus guided projects. So once you are working on any technical course, you will also need to be working on a guided project. So what do we mean by guided project? A guided project is just a project that you execute with step-by-step instruction, all right? And we'll talk more about this when we get into the course itself, because we'll also break down these courses and make you understand what you would see and what you should expect for each of these courses. Then the third course will be data visualization. This is where you will learn how to create dashboards and various kinds of visualization from your data using a very powerful tool, which is known as Microsoft Power BI. All right, and this will also be accompanied with a guided project. And the fourth course you will take in this entire training, data analytics training, is SQL for data analytics. So this is where you get to learn how to manipulate and interact with databases using the structured query language for data analytics. And this will also come with a guided project. Then the fifth course you will take in this training is on data storytelling and a crash course on statistics. Now, because we know that these are two soft skills that we take you from a technical level to a more advanced level as a data analytics, being able to tell story from the data, and also understanding the statistics behind the analysis of whatever data analysis you're performing. So in the entire data analytics circle, there lies a very massive application of statistics. That is why we're seeing it that it's very important for you to understand these statistics that engineers or that runs the engine of data analysis and data analytics as it were. Then finally, we'll end the entire training with a major capstone project. So although you have projects that you're going to be working on for each of these courses, we'll have a major capstone project that will cover up every single tech skill and soft skill that you learn throughout this training. All right, and this project will also come along with presentation. So the previous cohorts, the cohort that just ended, we are receiving their final projects already. And we would also love to invite you all to their final presentation. so that you get to see what they've learned. We are going to talk about this after this call. Once we fix a date for their presentation, I'll leave it open for anyone interested to also join to see the amazing things they have been able to build from the course or courses they've learned from this very data analytics training. All right, moving on, we are going to talk about these courses one after the other and what you should expect. So for Introduction to Data Analytics, this course will run from September 11th to September 17th. And while we're having this course, you have 2 live sessions in all, which gives a minimum of 4 hours. So we're saying 4 hours because a session is for 2 hours. It's scheduled for 4 to 6 p.m. every Saturday and Sundays. But there are times where we might need to extend it, maybe stretch to about 6:30. I mean 4 to 6 p.m. rather. Might stretch it to 6:30 or 7 o'clock sometimes, depending on how intense the subject we are discussing. For the week, we have to, for each week, on Monday by 8 a.m. precisely, the course materials will be released via our virtual classroom. So that is when you are expected to have access to this material and then start going through the material, start consuming them, so that when we come together on the weekend of the week the course is released, and we start to discuss those contents, you will understand what we're talking about better, and you also have questions to ask in those live sessions. So it is very, very important and paramount that you visit the virtual classroom, which we are going to show you all today, and go through those materials. Because if you fail to do that, when we come to the live lesson or the live session, you would be struggling to understand what we're saying, or you may be struggling to understand what we're saying, and also trying to think about how do we apply these stuffs or these concepts we are trying to explain during the live session. But if you have gone through the materials and maybe lay your hands on 1 or 2 of the practical that we would release in the virtual classroom, you would definitely encounter some maybe difficulties and trying to figure out some things which you can ask during the live session. Well, please note that you don't need to wait till the live session before you ask questions. You can ask questions at any time. Anytime you're faced with any challenge, please feel free to drop the questions or ask your facilitator the question at any time. So like I said again, every Monday, the materials will be released 8 a.m. You're expected to go there. Once it's released, we announce via our communication channels that, okay, we've released the material for the week. You're expected to go to the classroom and start consuming the materials and getting set for the Saturday and Sunday of that week. So for Introduction to Data Analytics, we will start with the definition of data analytics. Then we go into key concepts and terminology used in data analytics. You will learn about some overview of data analytics processes, and then we introduce you to the common tools and software used in the field of data analytics. So once we are done with this particular course, we would then move to the next course, which is spreadsheet packages for data analytics. So here, this course will run from September 18th to October 1st. And when you check that, that's going to be almost 4 weeks, which we know this is going to be 2 weeks rather, 2 weeks, and that will comprise of 4 live sessions. So don't forget that in a week, we meet 2 times, Saturday and Sunday. So in 2 weeks, we meet 4 times. We have 4 live sessions, which is equivalent to 4 hours. And this particular course comes with a guided project. So the very first week of this course, the project would have been released. So you're expected to start working on the project while you're going through the material. When we come online or when we come for the live session, we will lay more emphasis on the project. Don't forget that it's going to be a guided project, which means that there will be step-by-step instructions in getting the project done. All right, so during this course, you'll be exposed to introduction to Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets for data analytics. You'll get to learn some overview of Microsoft Excel as a tool for data analytics. Then we'll discuss some basic functionality of Excel, including formatting formulas and functions. We'll also talk about how to perform data cleaning and preparation using Excel. And then we'll go into some basic data visualization analysis in Excel. Although we know that we have the tool, the most preferred tool, Power BI or Tableau for data visualization. But here, you get to learn how to also do some basic visualizations with Microsoft Excel. I hope you're excited about what you are going to learn about Excel and Google Sheets. Then after this course, we move on to the next course, which is Power BI. And this is going to be data visualization with Power BI. This course will run from October 2nd to November 5th. That is about 4 weeks. So these 4 weeks comprise of 8 live sessions plus guided project. All right. So of course, like I have explained earlier, for a week we have 2 live sessions. Now this guided project, again, just like the previous course I just described, will begin from the very first week of the course. You are expected to jump on the project and then get started almost immediately. I'd like to use this opportunity to advise everyone on this call, based on our previous experience and observation, that you should begin the course once, I should begin the guided project and going through the materials once they are released on Monday. From the previous cohort, we noticed that some students just do not attend to those materials or start working on the project as quick as possible, or as soon as they are released. They wait until maybe 3 days to the end of the deadline, and then they are struggling to get these tasks done. Now, that is not how to learn. So, like I said, I'm using this opportunity to say this. Since you've decided to jump on this course, I would like you to just dedicate these 4 months, right? Dedicate these 4 months to learning this. If you must attain, the level at which we have already prepared this whole training for you. So if you must attain that level of getting to intermediate level as a data analyst, then you should dedicate this entire 4 months. I'm not saying give your entire life to it, right? But at least be disciplined to some extent. Tell yourself that, okay, I have this number of hours to spend per day to go through the materials and work on the project. That is the only way to learn. Now, the way you learn is little by little, like just little by little piece. When you put them together, it's going to amount to something reasonable. But when you say you want to leave them to a particular time, you say, okay, because I'm really busy, I can't give out any hour of my time for maybe 3 days of the week. I'll just attend to it for 1 day or 2 days. Or maybe when I'm getting towards the end of the deadline, I can quickly rush it. I tell you that you will never learn it that way. I tell you categorically that you will never learn, because what you'll be doing by then is just looking for solution to answering the questions or attempt to the guided project, but you are not learning. But if you're taking it gradually, step by step, day by day, you see that the more you study, the more you practice little by little, the more you get to be exposed to all of these concepts. All right, so during the Power Data Visualization course, we would begin with the introduction to Power BI and data visualization. Then we'll move on to overview of Power BI as a tool for data visualization. Then we'll talk about some basic functionality of Power BI, including creating visuals and dashboards, interesting dashboards and loving, good-looking dashboards. Then we'll move on to data sources and types supported by Power BI. Thereafter, we'll talk about design principles for effective data visualization. Now, upon the completion of this particular course, you have 1 week extra, like 1 week for break, because by then we know that you must have really worked hard. So we've decided to give everyone a week break. So that week break is to maybe accommodate people that may be struggling to complete their project, or that may be struggling with maybe the previous courses. But you will only struggle if you don't get a study plan for yourself. But if you have a study plan for yourself on a daily basis, I'm going to study for this number of hours, I trust me, you will never struggle throughout this course. Just trust me with that. All right, the next course we'll then be looking at after Power BI is SQL for data analytics. So this course will run from November 13th to December 10th, and there will be 8 live sessions in total, plus a guided project. So this is going to be 16 hours in total minimum. And throughout this course, we'll begin with introduction to SQL. We'll go into definition of SQL, the history of SQL and SQL standards. Then we'll talk about some basic SQL syntax, and the semantics of SQL statements. We also introduce you to SQL data types, advanced SQL queries, joins, and subqueries. We'll talk about grouping and aggregation functions. Then we'll move on to SQL for data analytics, extracting data for analysis. And then we'll look at some real-life application of SQL in the field of data analytics. So these are some interesting and powerful concepts we'll be learning about SQL. And then we are going to end the training with two other soft skills. The first one is going to be data storytelling, like I said earlier. As a data analyst or data scientist, if you can't tell story out of a data, then you would have a very big limitation, because after you've gotten the technical skill to analyze data and create interesting dashboard, and then it comes to a point where you have to now present to maybe whosoever needs that particular output or end product, and you're not able to convince them or tell a story out of the data you've been given, then you'll be crippled in a way. So we'll teach you the skill of data storytelling. This is a skill of its own. It's a soft skill every single person that aspires to become a pro in the data field should have or must have. So you must have a skill of data storytelling. So this particular course will run from December 11th to December 17th rather. And it's going to be just one live session. That is 2 hours minimum. So it means that during this week, you have a lot of self-study to do. And there are also some case studies. So here we're going to introduce you to data storytelling. Then we'll talk about the art of storytelling, the components of a good story. We'll also move on to finding the story in your data, then creating your data story and building a data story from scratch. Then after this, we'll also teach you one more skill or a crash course on statistics. This is going to run concurrently with the data storytelling course from 11th to 17th. That means this is also one live session. It means we would have data storytelling maybe on a Saturday and then statistics on a Sunday, or vice versa. And here we are going to talk about introduction to statistics. We'll talk about some definition and scope of statistics. We'll look at descriptive statistics, that is measures of location and measures of measures of variability. Then we'll go into graphical representation of data. We'll look at histogram, box plots, scatter plots, and the likes. And then we'll talk about application of statistics in market research and behavior and customer behavior. So these are the fully packed courses that we have for you guys. So I want you to anticipate a lot of interesting things in this course, throughout this course. And like I said earlier, this is not going to be a very easy, don't let me say easy, a smooth ride. We have to just be plain and be frank with every one of you on the call. If I say this is going to be easy and just as easy as ABC, then I'll be the biggest liar you've ever met in your entire life. So this is not going to be a smooth ride. But this is not by any means saying that it is impossible to achieve or it's something that is so difficult. No, it is not difficult. It's just that you will have to adjust to your normal life, right? So I know that majority of us on the call have left school for a while now. And this is like you're coming back to school to study. So you want to take it as serious as you were when you were in school, all right? And aiming at coming out with a very good grade. So here you're not aiming at getting a good grade for this course. You're aiming at becoming an expert at the end of the day so that you can be relevant in the field of data. So please, we have a very good plan for you. And if you as an individual wants to get the maximum from this course, then you should reciprocate the level of seriousness that we're going to push out to you. All right. Remember, there's only little help we can give to an individual if the individual doesn't reach out for help. If you are willing to help somebody and the person doesn't reach out, then there's very little you can do. I know you are all interested. That's why you are already on the course. You've already signed up. You've paid, and now we want you to now spend your money wisely. Although you've paid, but yes, it's your money. But don't say because you pay, you can now decide to just use your time anyhow. So for these 4 months, we have, we should actually get some good amount of your time in studying so that at the end of the day, you'll be happy and we are also going to be happy and be proud of everyone on the call to say, okay, look at this person enrolled with data to study data analytics with Datafied, and today this person is working at so place as data analyst or as a data scientist, and so on and so forth. So we have gotten results from some of our students which we were supposed to put on the call today, but due to one reason or the other, they are not here. But before we go deep into the course, maybe in our next live session, we'll try as much as we can to invite one or two of our former students to come and share their experience and at least to just get you a little bit motivated. All right, having said that, let's now quickly introduce the facilitators. So it's very important for you to meet the facilitators, those people that will work with you throughout this entire 4 months journey. All right, so I will begin by introducing myself. All right, so my name is Nnamdi, and I'm a data scientist and a machine learning expert. I have a background in mathematics and financial engineering. I'm the founder of the Gifted Minds Mathematics Challenge. I used to be the manager of the reporting and assessment team at ULSC, but right now I am a curriculum team and also an associate lecturer at MIVA Open University. I lecture, excuse me, I lecture mathematics, statistics. I also lecture data science at MIVA Open University. I am a member of the Data Scientist Network of Nigeria. I have collaborated with several global teams to apply machine learning techniques in solving practical data-driven problems. Some of them include the project we worked on, bioinformatics on breast cancer treatment using machine learning at Omdena local chapter at New Orleans in the USA. And then if you want to view my other profile, if you want to get to know me more, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. So you can search for me on LinkedIn using Nnamdi Isiche. That is my full name. My middle name is Augustus. My first name is Nnamdi, middle name is Augustus, and my last name is Isiche. So it is nice meeting every one of you, and I'll be taking you some courses throughout this training. Just get used to my face and get used to seeing me again and again. All right, the next person I'd like to introduce on the call is Clara Ogechi. Clara is the person that started this session. She is a Power BI developer and business intelligence expert. She has a background in public health, she mentioned that earlier, and formerly data science lead at Agnosis Health. So right now, Clara is a prepaid assurance analyst at Airtel Nigeria, and she has worked with different stakeholders in different industries to build data solutions. She was involved in the performance review dashboard for for audits in partnership with AXA Mansard. Also integrated claims management dashboard for Kano State Contributory Health Management Agency. This for Kano State government. She was also involved in the automated health data control room project powered by the Health Strategy and Development Foundation for Niger, Lagos, and Kano. Clara, once more, we know we've seen your face before. Can you kindly just turn on your mic and just say hello to everyone again on the call? Let them see you one more time. Please, could you please do that for us? Thank you.
Hi, the camera is coming on. So
All right.
I don't know if you
Thank
guys
you.
can see me.
Yes, you can hear you. Thank you, Clara, for being on the call. And thank you for making yourself available to actually facilitate this course. In fact, she's also a co-founder of Datafied Technologies. I'm also a co-founder of Datafied Technologies. So let's meet Bariyat. Bariyat is a data analyst and Power BI trainer. She specializes in data analysis, computer science, economics, data modeling, business intelligence, and data mining. She holds a bachelor's degree in computer engineering and financial analysis from Corporate Finance Institute. She's currently working as data analyst at the Power BI Coach and AI Analytics Intelligence. She aims to help clients make better business decisions by analyzing complex data and identifying problem areas. She has worked as a data analyst at eHealth for Everyone and helped to improve teams' efficiency by 20% throughout training in spreadsheet software such as Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. So Bariyat, please, if you're on the call, kindly unmute yourself and turn on your camera to just say hi to everyone on the call. Barriers, are you still on the call? I saw her, but just, oh, yeah, she's here.
Yeah, I'm still here. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Sorry.
Barriers, nice to meet you. Yeah,
Nice to
thank
meet you.
you for joining and making yourself available to facilitate this training. All right, guys. So that is it. Let's now talk about what we expect from everyone. Although I have said a little of those while talking about the different courses we're going to learn or you're going to learn in this training, we want to now emphasize some of these expectations. All right, so please, I'd like you to pay maximum attention and listen to these expectations. They are clearly displayed on my screen. The very first expectation from you is attentiveness. Before I say that, I'd like us to look at this quote here. It's not about what can I accomplish, but what do I want to accomplish? So it is not what can I, right? It's not what can you accomplish, but what do you want to accomplish? So here is a kind of sense of determination, a kind of sense of telling yourself, okay, this is what I want to do, right? And this is what I can definitely do, and this is what I will do. All right. So while having that at the back of your mind, while taking a bold step to come into this field of data analytics, while you have already taken this bolder step to signing up with the Datafied Academy and entrusting us, we want to expect these following things from you. Number one, attentiveness. Please don't miss sessions. Do not miss sessions, the live sessions. It is very important. Take assignments and projects seriously. Please take assignments and projects seriously while paying attention to every single detail. All right. So please do not miss live sessions. Now, if you must miss live sessions, then you should give us some days notice. Okay, you are expected to send an official email to datafied@gmail.com if you're going to miss a live session, and that must be when you find yourself in a kind of situation that is beyond your control. So if it's something you can't control, please try as much as you can. So we are telling you this because we know how we know what you as an individual need to do to get the maximum from this training. So one thing you should do is to attend live sessions and take your assignments and projects serious. Like I said while I was describing the courses or explaining some of the courses you will take, I said don't wait till it is a day or two to the deadline of the assignment before you begin. So that will not help you learn. It will only help you maybe complete the project and turn them in. And when you find yourself in that kind of situation, then you want to reach out to your course mate and say, please, what have you done? Can you show me how you have done what you've done? You're not learning. You just want to copy the person's code or copy the person's assignment and then submit. And who are you deceiving in that sense, in that kind of situation? You're not deceiving the Datafied Academy, you're not deceiving your facilitator, you are only deceiving yourself, and you are not being nice and you're not being fair to yourself because you paid money for this thing, you're spending time for it. At least you should have a result at the end of the day. All right, next thing we expect from you is curiosity. Curiosity. So always ask questions. Please, this is very, very important. Try out things, explore, always ask questions. So now I'm going to emphasize on this. So be curious, right? So even in the live session, see, no question is stupid. Please, no question is stupid. Do not assume that if I should ask this question, won't they laugh at me? Please, they should laugh. This is what I tell my students whenever I teach. I say, if you feel that if someone will laugh at you when you ask a particular question, please go ahead. The worst they can do is to laugh. And after they laugh, they are quiet. And at the end of the day, somebody or most of them that laughed because you ask a question will learn from the question you've asked because they don't know it, right? So no question is stupid. Please ask question. So I'm emphasizing again, ask question. So we've had in some situations in time past that people weren't following and they kept quiet and they didn't ask question. But when we were trying to find out how they were doing, how they were coping the course, towards the end of the course, which was already too late, they started opening up. So In that situation, what do you expect the fight to do? There was little or nothing we could do to help them because it was already too late. If they had opened up to ask questions in the when they were facing the challenges, then we would have been able to help them out. Please try things out. Don't be scared to type some codes. Don't be scared to break things. Now, in the tech world, one way to learn quickly is to break things, is to write a bad code, is to write a code that will give you, an error, and you try to debug the error. One way to understand coding, one way to in fact come into the tech world is to actually break things and understand why is this thing broken? How can I fix it? So please try things out. Don't be scared to press that button. Don't be scared to develop that chart. Don't be scared to try to clean that data and maybe your data got missing. Don't be scared to lose your data. All right, you can always start all over again. And that is why it's good for you to start on time and start smartly. Also, explore. Please, those Google should be your friend. Aziz, you're unmuted. Google should be your friend. If you have any challenge, feel free to reach out to search for the solution on Google. I bet me you are not the first person to have encountered that challenge. You would have seen that several other persons had also asked that question. Some other persons that have experienced such earlier and have provided answers would see such answers online. So please feel free to search for things online. Feel free to reach out to your tutors to ask for other maybe some questions about some things you're trying out. Please explore beyond what you're learning in the class. Now, timeliness is another expectation from you. Timeliness is next to godliness. Be on time. So once we say we have our meeting for 4 p.m., at 4 p.m. max 4:04 would begin. So today's session took a little while to start because of technical issues. So because we had technical issues from our end. So we're sorry about that. But if you have technical issues, please reach out to us via other communication platforms to say, okay, I'm trying to join, but I'm having this issue, so we know what's happening. So please join the live sessions on time. Like I said earlier, if you're going to miss a session, please give us prior notice to say, okay, I will not be attending this session. All right. Although we are going to record all our live sessions, however, don't miss the session to say you want to go back to live the recorded session. That may not work because when you're live, you have the liberty to ask questions. But when you're watching the recordings, you might not be able to ask questions at that point. All right, then finally, we expect you to have fun, build relationships, and interact with other participants. Have fun while you kill it. So please do not draw back. Do not hold back yourself. So this is where we start building communities. Remember what I talked about? How to get into the data space during the webinar? I said one way to get into the data space is to join yourself, find yourself in a community. So now we have a smaller community. Also find another community outside this. Join different groups on LinkedIn and other, notable platforms where you see people that are already into this field before you, ahead of you. Feel free to communicate. Feel free to interact with people. Feel free to build relationships, and feel free to get to know each other on this course. So whenever we say you should unmute your mic and speak, please be bold enough to do that. Now, one other thing we expect from you is to have gained the skill to be able to work remotely. Because one of the things we are trying to achieve here is to also teach you this, all the whole, what's it called now? The skills you need to effectively work remotely. Because that's the in thing right now. You can be in Nigeria and work for a country in France. I mentioned France because we have a student that's already in France as a data engineer. We were opportune to have trained him earlier, and he took more interest and went further and further, building upon what we have taught him. And today he's in France, although he got the job remotely, and he decided to move to France physically. So that is what we want to help you achieve. So every single tool we'll be exposing you to, whether you are new to it or you have known the tool before now, every single communication tool are the tools that you will also be using when you eventually have a job, a remote job as data analyst. So please ensure to feel free to communicate via those tools. Be expressive. Please be expressive. Our platforms shouldn't be so dry. I would like to say well done to Harris and who again? I think Harris and somebody have it. I think is it Luke Tech? Miracle. they've been engaging on the platform. I've been seeing questions drop on the platform. So I was so excited to see those questions. To know, even though we've not started, please, I want more of that. I want us to be discussing. Whenever you have a thought about something in the data space, just feel free to drop it there. Share your thoughts anytime. Whenever you see a wow kind of exposure, drop it. Say, okay, guys, do you know this is what I've seen today? Do you know? Please, let's be expressive. Let's get to interact with each other. Let's get to say some things that are out of you feel that they are out of sense would make sense out of it. All right. So please let us be as expressive as we can, and let's build relationships. All right. Having said that, it's time for us to quickly talk about our communication channels. And here I will hand over again to Clara to talk about these communication channels quickly before we take some questions and draw the curtain. Thank you for paying attention, guys. I am expecting lots and lots of questions as we get to end this onboarding session. All right, Clara, over to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, hi. Thank you, Namdi. So, we're going to drill down on our communication channels. We have four major communication channels for this course or for the purpose of this course. The first one is email. You can reach us via email at datafied@gmail.com. So our email is like an official communication channel where you can actually add when you have issues with the course or you try to join a session and you're not able to join due to some circumstance that are not avoidable. It's best you communicate through email so that we are aware of what's happening to you at every moment and we can account for your participation in the course. The next one is WhatsApp. So I'm sure all of us or most of us here are already on the WhatsApp channel. So our WhatsApp group is kind of like an informal chat where we can bond as a team and also talk about things outside or aside the course. For now, I've been using that as a means of communication to pass course related information, but that would end after today. We have another channel for that purpose. But like we said, WhatsApp is more like an informal and for chit chat, for getting to know each other, for building a community and knowing ourselves and the next person. The next communication channel we can see here is the Google Chat. If you're not familiar with the third icon, so that's the Google Chat. We've created spaces already on Google Chat. We have three spaces, or if you're on this course, you're supposed to join the three spaces on Google Chat. So we have a space for the general information. We have a space for the lecture recordings, and we have a space for support for guided projects. So each of these spaces have their function, and it's really important for us to understand where to go whenever we have like an issue or we want to communicate. So for the general information channel, or I'll call it space, let's call it space. So for the general information space, this is where information, course related information will be passed. So please, I will advise you have your Google Chat on your phone so that you're always updated when it comes to information. Then for the lecture recording space, that will be like our repository to keep all lecture or all live sessions recorded. So in case you find yourself missing out or not being able to join any live section, you can always go back to that space and access all the recordings from the beginning of the course to the end of the course. You'll find it there. These lectures or the recordings will be labeled really appropriately so that you are actually not lost when you get there. It's really easy to navigate, trust me. Then the last section, which is for support for guided project, is where we actually come when you're having issues with your projects and you're working on your assignment or any other thing. You just drop a chat there, you'll be responded to immediately or as soon as a facilitator or anybody gets to see the message. So that's where you can communicate project related issues. It's more like for troubleshooting. So when you have an issue, you encounter an error when you're running your code or doing your project, you can always drop a message there, right? Then the last one, which is the Google Classroom, is our learning management system. And Google Classroom is where all the course materials will be hosted from the day one to the last day. So this is where you find your course materials. This is where you find your assignment instructions and other things that you need to consume to be able to navigate the course. So we'll be dropping assignments, we'll be dropping project instructions, we'll be dropping course material. And the way the course is structured, during the week we would release materials from on Monday where you would consume and you get to read. So the materials might be in form of text or videos or the combination of both. And when the materials are released, you visit the classroom, you go through these materials within the week. When you have questions, as you go through the materials and you have questions, you can always ask. You don't have to wait till it's the live session before you start asking. So anything you're confused on, you're not understanding on the go, you just always ask. If someone is always there to respond to you as you ask your questions. So like I was saying earlier, the materials will be released, so it will be consumed during the week. And when it's weekend, we gather here like this, like we're doing now, to look at what we have learned during the week. And this is where like the breakdown of everything that was being put up in the classroom will be dispersed. So you need to like that's why it's very important for you not to miss the live session, and you always try to make yourself available, right? So these are the four official communication channels, and if you have questions, you can ask, and we'll be open to answer. So thank you so much, everyone. We'd like to hear your questions, like I said, or feedback or concerns, and would love to hear your thoughts as well. So it might not be a question, what the oh, am I excited to actually start this course? I can't wait. Or maybe you have questions or concerns. You can as well say it on the call. Let's get to hear you.
All right. Thank you, Clara, to support what you've said concerning the spaces and the Google Charts. I'm going to show every one of you quickly how it looks like in case you're yet to join. So I have the Google Charts opened already. I'm sharing my screen. So this is the Google Charts space, the spaces we've created for this cohort. So we have spaces. So here are the three spaces for data heroes. These are the spaces for the previous cohort. Then, or you won't have access to these ones, right? You won't have, when you get there, you won't see these ones. So you're saying that because I'm joining with Datafied account. So here is the general information space. When you come to the general information space, some of you have joined. So if you're here to join this space, please, you let us know so we can add you to the space. So like Clara has said, whenever we have any general information, those information will be dropped here. And this is the live recording space. Like for instance, this onboarding session will be dropped here once we upload it to our YouTube channel. For any live session, we drop them here. Where you want to search for them, just come directly to this space. You can't see it on YouTube because it's not public, right? It's not public, so you can only find the links here. We're dropping the links here, and like she said earlier, we would ensure that we label these live recordings appropriately so that whenever you're searching for any, you can easily locate it here. Then for the support for guided projects, once we begin our guided project and you have any issue, you have any concern, you need help in any area, you come to this support for guided project and drop it here. Your facilitator will get notified almost immediately. So please let's endeavor to try to read, right? Some of the things we noticed from the previous cohort is that most people don't read. They do not read instructions. So and they made communication very difficult for us. We drop information on our spaces. They don't go there to read. And then they come back and start asking questions about what you've dropped. We make video, we go through. Please, I would like if you have taught before, or if you're an educator, you know it's not easy to prepare contents, even if you are a content creator, right, on any social media space. You know, you agree with me that it's not easy at all to prepare content and push out there. So do not make us feel discouraged, because you can also feel discouraged at some point when you, as a content creator, as an educator, you're trying to pass information to your students and you expect them to go through those stuff, and you finally discover that they are not even going through the stuff. So you spend some time. So sometimes we spend nights developing content, shooting videos to make things simplified and make our students understand. And we post them on these spaces. And at the end of the day, maybe there are instructions to the step-by-step guided project. And you've released this information about 4 weeks ago. And when it's a day to the end of the project, you hear somebody asking you a question that you've answered 4 weeks ago in a video because the person had failed to go and read and watch that video. So sometimes it's discouraging and painful. So please, I want to believe and trust everyone on this call, on this course right now, that we will not have such kind of situation here. So I'm mentioning it so that you know it has happened before. And it wasn't nice, right? It was really discouraging. So please, to do yourself good, ensure to read every single information we drop. Try to have this chat on your phone. You can download it to your phone so that whenever any information is dropped there, you get notified. Also, the classroom can also be, okay, I'll show you the classroom in a bit, but this is just Google Chat. So you have access to these 3 spaces. We're going to add every single person on these 3 spaces. All right, so having said that, let me go ahead and show you how the LMS looks like. Just give me a minute to quickly open the LMS, and then I show everyone on this call how it looks like. All right. All right, so these are different classes, but you will not have access to all of these classes. The class you have access to will be Data Heroes. I don't know if you guys can see my screen right now. Yeah. So you have access to a classroom called Data Heroes, but this is for data and Data Titans. So I want to use Data Titans to demonstrate this short demonstration to explain the classroom the way it looks. So here is how the classroom will look. You will see something like Data Heroes and maybe a different kind of design. Maybe not this. This is for the previous cohort. Now there are 4 sections: stream, classwork, people, and marks. But you won't have access to marks because you'll be joining as a student. Here I'm joining as a facilitator or as a teacher. That is why I have this particular access to these marks. So when you join the classroom, you only see stream, classwork, and people. On the stream is where you get notifications of any material that has been dropped. So all of these things, they are notification of materials and assignments. You can also leave comments. Remember when Clara was talking about the classroom, she said when you have questions, you don't need to wait until the live session. So you can ask questions from even the classroom. So these are comments that some people left, some students left. Like someone is saying, wow, after seeing the project, somebody is saying, okay, there was a response. Then say, that's serious, wow. So this is kind of, just having fun in the classroom. So you can ask questions, everyone will see it, people can interact even from the classroom. So all of these are posts. So these are different comments. Like you can drop a link, someone dropped a link. Okay, this is when they were also asked to make videos of themselves and drop their link on the classroom. So you can also do that. You can ask questions. So this is where you just get to see everything that's happening in the classroom. But if you want to see it by different section, because we break our courses by section. So this section is for the capstone project, the final project. This section is for data storytelling. This is course 5. This is for the final guided project for SQL. So you come here and see them broken down into section for easy navigation, right? So in case you're looking for a particular course, a particular material, just come here, you find it easily. But the stream is where you see everything. Once they are released, you see the notification dropped here. Then people is where you see your fellow classmates. So these are all the people on the course from the last cohort. and the teachers that were controlling the class. I don't want to take you to the marks so that you don't see the marks of our students, because that is supposed to be confidential. And at this part of the classroom is where you get notifications or where you get updates of any due date of any assignment. So as you can see, these are the assignments and projects that our students worked on for each course. So just get set to always attend assignments and capstone and projects rather. So it's going to show you the due dates. Any upcoming projects will be displayed here for easy access and easy reminder. So this is how the classroom looks like. Once we add it to the classroom, you get invitation notification in your email. Please accept the invitation. Then once you accept it, you'll be added to the classroom automatically. All right. Having said that, I think I'm done with everything I want to explain about the classroom and Google Chat. Of course, we are all used to WhatsApp. So before next week Monday, expect to receive so many notifications. If you don't have notification, please just let us know. But try to download Google Chats on your phone, even the classroom. You can download them on your phone. You can also open it using any browser. Okay. Once you have a Gmail account, that is a Google account, you definitely have access to the classroom. All right. Thank you, guys. It is now time for questions. Please, we want to hear you ask questions. Feel free to unmute your mic and go ahead with your questions. Thank you very much for joining this session.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. Sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Please go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. Thank you very much for the thank you very much for this session. It was really inspiring. Like I'm fired up. I'm fired up to really start this cohort. All right. So I remember I asked a question in group about the three data fields. Don't know if you remembered about the differences between data analysis, data scientists, and data engineering. So
Yeah.
when I still went through the diagram you showed me, yeah, I noticed that there were some differences between, but at the same time, you also said that you were still going to at least throw, there are still more to it. So I don't know if you can still throw more light about the three differences, because there was a time I was going through a certain session online and somebody was talking about that if you are trying to look for a job or somebody is trying to post a job, and then you might see and that they're posting about data engineering, and maybe that's not even what they need, just because they just feel that it's just a term that they feel like using. So I want to know like their terms and how one can apply them, that it doesn't see something and then apply for something else. I don't know if you get my question.
Yes, I do. I do. Your question is clear enough. What does LMS mean? So let me quickly answer this. Answer just a straightforward question. LMS means learning management system. Learning management system. Okay, so Clara, I don't know if you would like to take that question or I should take it.
I can.
All
Okay.
right, so please go ahead. Thank you.
Hi, Miracle. Sorry, my camera is not on. Bro. Um, so you asked the difference between a data scientist, an analyst, and a data engineer, right? So I wish
Yes,
I
yes.
like have an illustration. Yeah, I'm a visual person, so but I will just like explain it the best way I can. So I'll start with a data analyst. So a data analyst basically is a professional or a data professional that actually analyzes data, and they work more with the business. So a data analyst would analyze the data and be able to communicate it in a business way, like in a very simple way that business stakeholders can understand. So that's where we have well, that's where you hear terms like business intelligence and other things that are related to business. So what a data analyst do with require skills like SQL. We require skills like data visualization. That's your Power BI, because you need to communicate. And one way to communicate in the data field is by using visualization. Let's say, for instance, I analyze my data and I want to be able to tell the results. I can't just come and start saying it verbatim. Like, while it might make sense, but it would be better when people can see what you see from the data. And that's where data storytelling comes in, the communication part, being able to communicate this analysis or these technicalities that are associated with your analysis in a very simple way, so that the CEO or somebody that is even from a very non-technical background can understand it. A data scientist, right, is that professional now that takes this analysis to like maybe another level. Or, let me just put it like another level. So a data scientist now would look at data in a way to do more of predictive analytics. So it's me trying to tell what will happen in the future based on past trends or historical trends. For example, I have my sales data. I have, let's say, I made this amount of money in sales in 2020. So I want to project, okay, what's based on what I have now, what can I project into the future and see how much I'll make in the next 5 years. So a data scientist is that person or that professional that will be able to take this data that you have, do some transformation on it, and be like build models around it, feed this data to the model, and this model can do like predictions, right? So it comes in different format. I might not really go into like the technical jargon, but just try to understand it in a way that data scientists like predict the future, and they're able to do look at data in a more predictive analytics way, right? A data engineer, I would call the data engineer like the middle guy. So a data engineer is the middle guy that helps to structure this data in a way that will make it very easy for a data scientist and a data analyst to work with. So I don't know if you've worked with data, but there are times that you have to export your data or interact with the database to get data. And how did this data get into the database? It's a data engineer that does that. If you see data in a very, very raw format, you might not be able to use it that way, right? Sometimes it comes in JSONs and other really funny file formats that you might not be able to utilize as a data analyst. So data engineers will collect that raw data, like data in the rawest form. Let me just put it that way, and transform it and make it look good, or make it look accessible to the data scientist or a data analyst. So they are the ones that do more of the transformation. They are the ones that go. Let me just call them like the dirty guys too. They'll go to where the data is in very raw format, how the data was generated from the point of collection. So it depends on the industry or where you're sourcing your data from, right? So we can get data from different sources. Right. So the data engineer will actually go to those sources, mine your data and extract it, transform it, and load it to a database or anything that will make it easy for the data analyst or scientist to access. Um, so, talking about their technical skills, there are actually quite some similar things that all data professionals would use. For example, SQL. A data scientist use SQL, data analyst use SQL, data engineer use SQL. But the perspective in which they look at it might be different, right? Um, so let me just not talk about them together. Let me just extend it. A data analyst, like I said earlier, you will want to be proficient in skills like Excel, because we use Excel for analysis. You want to be proficient in skills like visualizations, use a lot of visualization tools. Power BI is a very good visualization tool you can use. Then also you want to be able to use your SQL, and one or more things. You want to be able to tell stories from your data and communicate this data in a very simple way. Um, sometimes you might be required to do predictive analytics, right? But not like in a very technical way. You also need like a little bit of statistics as well, so that you can understand those models when you build it. In the case of predictive analytics, I don't know if I'm speaking too wide for your understanding, but I'm just trying to make you see it in a very broad way. A data scientist also would should know how to interact with databases, because that's where the data is stored. And it should also be sufficient in programming aside visualization. You should be able to know how to program, like use Python, because Python or R is like a programming language that you can use to do more of this predictive statistics analytics. I mean, some of the tools can, but Python and R is widely best suited for this kind of job, and that's why you need to be proficient in it as a data scientist. Um, then for a data engineer, you also need Python because you are working with big data, and you also need a very good understanding of databases. So you are doing a lot of extraction and loading, and you also need to know how to use cloud. Like that would be like the cloud technologies. Let me just put it like that. That's like one of their strongest points as a data engineer. So I don't know if I have been able to distinctively differentiate it. Um, Miracle, are you still there?
Yes, yes, I'm still here. I'm still processing it. So, but if I'm to put it in a way I understand, like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm to put it in a way I understand. So now, as a data engineer,
Yes.
all I do is format the data for data analysts and data scientists to understand in a way that they can understand, like bring in the
Yeah.
data from the database, put it in a way that
Yes.
you can be able to interpret it, right?
Yes. You were able to access it. Let's use the word
Okay.
access.
Accesses. All right.
Yes.
Then for a data analyst is
Mm-hmm.
someone that can be able to bring in the, let's say, like a monthly sale of a business, put it into
Mm-hmm.
a visualized graph, and then
Yes.
that way
Communicate this information.
the owner of the business can see what they have been doing so far, and what next or what step to take, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then also for a scientist, the
Mm-hmm.
scientist is the one that would actually predict how their sales is supposed to go for the next month.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So that's
All
like a
right.
very the simplest way you can understand it. Thank you so much. I hope everyone on the call too did. Um,
All right. Also, just one quick one.
yes.
You talked about business intelligence as a data
Mm-hmm.
analyst. So is it
Yes.
like a soft skill for you to have, or it's just something that comes with it? I don't really know how to. Okay, let's say for me now that don't know anything about business,
Mm-hmm.
I'm striving to become a data
Yes.
analysis. So do I still need to have a background in business to be able to be able to
Okay.
interpret data?
All right, thank you, Miracle. So when I mean business, right, it might not be literal business. So business can be wherever you find yourself, wherever they're buying and selling is a business,
Yes,
wherever
yes.
they're making money. So it depends on the industry you find yourself. There are a lot of industries. You can work in the fintech, you can work in the health sector, you can work in telecoms, you can work in engineering. So whatever they can call business or whatever is business to them, you as a data analyst needs to understand what they call business so that you're able to communicate these things to them in a way that they understand as well. So that's what business intelligence is. So yeah, we are communicating business and making them like being on top of their game with data, and informing them of these things that has happened with the business so that they can make decisions from it. Do
Oh,
you
oh,
get?
okay. Yes, yes, I get it now.
So you
I
don't need
don't
like
know.
a special what's it called?
Special soft skill.
Yes, for business. So it depends on the industry you find yourself. That's why I would say as a data person, you have to understand your industry wherever you're going to. Um, If you're switching, maybe for extras, I'm a person that I'm in the health background. If I'm working in the health space, I will be able to like any data analyze, I'll be able to like relate to it. I'll be able to understand, oh, if I'm seeing a peak, let's say for example, right? I'm working in a government agency and I'm analyzing, let's say COVID-19 data set, and maybe your supervisor wants to know, oh, what is the trend of COVID-19 for the past 6 months, right? You go to your database, extract this data, and do the analysis. And you now come and say, oh, let's say in January we had low cases, in February the cases was high, in March it was really high, in April it's reduced. So we might associate it to maybe seasonal patterns, right? There are some
Yes.
kind of sicknesses that happen in January that might not necessarily happen. So it depends on you. So you'll be able to interpret this thing based on your understanding of the industry and how it works. So that's what being business intelligence inclined means.
Yeah, so thank you, Clara, and thank you, Miracle, for those questions. I just want to interrupt a little bit. These
Yeah.
are more of the things we'll talk about when we discuss introduction to data analytics. So you get to learn more, right? So that is
Yes.
why I just want to, yes, cut in. So let's take more questions about
Yeah.
how the course will go, because we're going to talk a lot about this particular question you just asked, and we would show you with use cases, with examples, even with some visuals, so you get to understand it better. So by the time we're done with introduction to data analytics, you as an individual can confidently tell the difference between a data analyst, a data scientist, and a data engineer. Thank you, Clara, and thank you, Miracle, once more for that question. All right, guys. So please feel free at this point. It's time for you to ask questions about the course and maybe any concern you may have.
Any
Please.
concerns? Yeah. Maybe the
Yes.
timing or whatever that is um, suitable for you at this point. We want to listen and we want to make this really the best experience you've had. So we would like to hear from you. Hi,
Yeah,
Miracle.
Miracle.
Um, sorry, I'm asking too much
No,
questions.
it's okay. We're fine. Thumbs up.
All
That
right.
is what we want, actually.
I think this might be my final question.
Okay.
Um, okay. So there is something I want to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already into the tech field. I'm a front end developer. So right now,
Oh, okay.
what I want to know is like there is still come a time that I will still be able to merge these two skills together, or they work in a um, total separate
Okay.
road. Like there is no way that they can meet at the middle. Like now, due to the fact that now I'm learning data analysis. Now in
Mm-hmm.
future, now it's just what I'm trying to say is how will I put it in a word? Okay. Now,
We understand what you're saying, Miracle. But you
okay,
just go on.
okay, okay. All right. So I want to know, would there come a time or they just work in a separate field entirely?
Mm, okay. And do you want to take that question?
I did not get the question. I didn't get. Please, can you just ask again? You want to know what's that last part? I'm sorry.
Okay. As a front end developer, right?
Mhm.
I want to know now, me learning data analysis, will there come a time where I would have to put these two skills to work, or they just work in a total separate field from each other?
No, no, they don't. Because as a sorry, front end developer, you would need analytics of any solution you're trying to provide.
Exactly.
So you will always need analytics. That is the engine. That is what it is. That is what is driving businesses. Whether they are developing websites or you are developing an app, you need analytics. So if you have a data skill or data analytics skill, you will understand the importance of data in any solution you are building. You understand how to collect. You know the importance of collecting the right data and the way to connect it to wherever they are supposed to be stored. Although we're not going deep into data engineering, because data engineering are those who are concerned with the infrastructure. They are the back end guys, right? They're the ones that are
Mm-hmm.
going to build the database and create pipelines to connecting the data to where they are supposed to be connected to. But we'll talk a little bit about them. So you have the knowledge, even though you don't have the technicalities, you know what it means to collect data and to connect data as a front-end developer. So you have to put all of those things into consideration when building any solution as a front-end engineer. In fact, data skill is required in every single field. If you ask me, mention any field and I'll tell you how to apply data in that field. Do
Carpentry.
you get, do you
Okay.
get
Miracle, let me to add also. So front end, you guys do more of the GUIs. Okay, the graphics, or is it more than that? From my
The
understanding of what front end means,
front end is more just of the design,
yeah, the
the
GUI,
look,
the
how,
interface.
yes, the interface, how it looks to the user. That is what front end is all about. That is the whole.
Okay, so
so,
I'm
sorry.
going to say it's really a plus for you because there's always we data professionals, we don't even, in as much as we do the analysis, we want to communicate these things, right? And one way to do that is, right, maybe presentation dashboards. So dashboard is like maybe a front end part of data analytics, right? And you as a front end developer, it's really going to be a plus because you'll be able to, when you're building a solution, you'll be able to define good metrics that can be used on the app that maybe you're building, and design your dashboard that would actually inform your user. And so you're combining your data skills and your front end skills in one, and it's going to be really mind blowing, trust me. You'll be able to define good KPIs or metrics that can help this business grow, or that can help your user make a decision for whatever the app you're designing for. So you don't need to worry, you can combine both of the skills and it's going to be perfect.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you, Clara. Just to
Thank
add
you
a little
very
bit
much.
before we leave this topic, and that is why I said you will need the skill because I know that as a front end engineer or a developer, you work closely with a UI UX designer. They bring a design for you. Now, sometimes if they don't understand fully about user experience, or that is where they're supposed to specialize in, right? Now, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of data, and when we talk about some things that have to do with creating forms, there are sometimes you are building the solution, be it an app or a website. There will be a need for them to create a form to collect data. And if these forms are created in such a way that it will make analytics very difficult. Now, with knowing the idea, having knowledge of data analytics, you can suggest and advise us, okay, why don't you go ahead and create this form this way? Why don't you collect this field this way? And you can even help the maybe engineers, data engineers,
Yeah,
or
the back end guys.
have understanding of these things. So I have a little bit of understanding of software or front end engineering. That's I'm able to relate it easily. So you would gain a lot, right? You will gain a lot. I've tried my best to put myself in all of these different tech skills and different spaces as a data scientist. Even though I am not specialist in those area, but whenever you mention any area in tech space, I should be able to say one or two things. All right, and that is how it should be, right? If you want to be relevant in the tech space. All right. Thank you very much for your questions. It has been
Thank
interactive and
you. Thank
I
you
enjoyed
very
it.
much. I really appreciate.
You're welcome. All right, guys. We want to hear you ask questions. We have a few minutes to go. And
Chikeze,
yes,
Blessing. I'm going to call everybody out now.
exactly.
Ezekiel, uh, Afiz, Suleiman. Who else is here? Okay, Cynthia said she's at work. Oh, hi, Judith.
Okay, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
It's Morris Chidebe.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I must really commend you guys for the section. It's quite
Mm-hmm.
educative. Okay, but just want to add kind of contribution or a question rather.
Okay.
Like pertaining the time like most of us we are working. So and me in particular, I'm into the health factor, like health sector. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
like in the hospital. Maybe at times the schedule for the meeting might be 4, and in the hospital setting, you always have emergencies. So in such scenario, when maybe the class is by 4 and I have emergency by that period at that time, what should I do? What is the way forward? What is the alternative? So
Mm.
that is something I want to be clarified on.
Okay, so sorry, before you re-answer, this emergency, is this something that can happen frequently or it's just a once in a while thing?
You can't tell. You can't tell because you just you're always
Maybe
expecting
just give us an
patients.
average, maybe
Uh I don't know. I can't tell.
in a
But the only
month.
thing I don't expect it to happen often. But I
Okay.
just say in case if maybe towards the time to the class or during the class and there is an emergency,
Mm-hmm.
I'm expected to leave the class to attend to the patient because to save life is the
Yeah,
paramount
sure.
thing why we are working in the hospital. So
Mm-hmm.
I believe maybe before I finish attending to the patient and everything, I believe the session should be over. So I don't know what's your take on that? How am I going to cope? That I'm just contemplating on it right now.
Okay.
All right, should I take that, Clara?
Oh,
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you for that question. So the first thing you want that wants to come to your mind is communication.
okay,
If you have the emergency, just few minutes or few seconds before the class, just reach out. The quickest way to reach out to us is via WhatsApp, and please drop it on the WhatsApp group. We don't encourage you to always drop such communication there via WhatsApp. Maybe it's through email, but because it's an emergency, just drop on WhatsApp. Like, oh, please, I will not be able to join the session because of this reason, and then you go for your emergency. Then, if you are already in the classroom and emergency comes up, please leave it on the chat spot, on the message box, on the group chat. Oh, that I have to leave because of XYZ, so that we know that's the first thing that we are aware, the facilitators are aware. Then,
okay,
secondly, like we said earlier, the classes will be recorded. Once you don't get to attend that session, please go back to ensure before the next class. We will try our possible best. There are some processes involved in getting the recordings available, but we'll try our possible best to get it available before the next day, right? So try as much as you can to go back to that session, and we are always available to attend to you. So when you're going through the session and maybe you have some questions, but because it's not a live session and you want to ask those questions, please feel free to drop the questions on the right platform or reach out to your facilitator directly and say, please, I missed this class because of this and or because you've already carried the facilitator along, he knows, he's aware, and I'm trying to catch up before the next class, but I still not understand this thing you said in the video. Could you please explain more? The facilitator will be happy to help out. So, but if
okay,
you don't take those active steps, it will be difficult for you, all right, to catch up. So we are
uh,
always ready to, answer you at any time. You could also send in a Google link meet and say, please, I need to jump on the call to explain some concept based on because I missed some sessions. We are happy to do that always. Do
all
you
right,
follow? And that is the
yeah,
reason
yeah,
why we have limited. We always have a limit with the numbers of people we take on for each cohort because we want to be able to cater to everybody's needs.
all right. Thank you very much.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome.
All
Is
right,
it
Yeah.
Izzy, I see your hand up.
Hi, Namdi and Ogechi, right?
yes?
Okay, thank you guys for the wonderful section. So I just want to get clarification on something. So for the project-based courses, how many is it? How many projects are we going to be doing for project-based courses?
Okay, so what do you mean by project-based courses?
So for this, for instance, the spreadsheet, let's say spreadsheet
Okay,
package. Yeah, from the presentation, they said the spreadsheet package would have like a project, right?
okay, okay.
So yeah, so I'm just asking like, how many projects are we going to be handling?
All right. So Ezekiel, for every tech stack you learn, there's a project for it. So for this course, we are going to be teaching you both technical and soft skills, and for you to work or have mastered that proficiency, you need to work on projects. And we'll be focusing on technical skills, guided projects for your technical skills so that you are proficient in the use of those tools. For example, we have guided projects for Excel, we have guided project for SQL, we have guided projects for Power BI. And at the end of the training, we have a capstone project that will be like accumulation of everything you've learned from the very first beginning, the very first time you start learning to the last. So everything we have been saying is just you trying to practicalize it and building a solution out of it. So we are going to put in bits and bits of everything from Excel to Power BI to SQL to your data storytelling, statistics, and all of that stuff. So it's going to be like a rounded project so that you can explore everything and so that you also know and be able to link how all of them works. So we are going to be teaching you those skills individually, right? But the capstone project will help you understand how you can connect those skills, like their interrelationship, and where each of to help you know their strengths, weaknesses, and how you can use them to solve a problem. So that's basically it. I don't know if you
All
got that.
right. Yeah. Hi, Clara. Thank you. Let me just add to what you've said. Yes. So easy for each project-based course, there is one guided project. So we call it a guided project because it's going to be step by step guidance in achieving that project. So this week you could learn how to clean your data, right? We teach you how to clean data. We would already have a data set we're going to work with for that entire course. Then after the live session, this is how to clean data, these are the things you're expected to do. We'll do some demo, and then there will be a follow-up project that is okay, get the data from this particular source, do this and this and this cleaning. So that is a project to be doing guided, to be guided step at a time until you finish that entire course. Before you're done, you have a complete project. So which means one guided project for that course as Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. Then when you get to Power BI, there's one guided project. So your facilitator will teach you some skills and different aspects of Power BI and how to create dashboard, how to do their different steps. And while you are doing those, you have a guided project that will help you practice on your own, one guided project to that course. Then for all of them, that's how it is. Then at the end, you now have a capstone project that now covers every single thing that will encompass all the whole courses you've learned. You build a complete data solution from beginning to end. So in summary, there is one guided project to every project-based courses in this training. Is that are those answers clear to you now?
Yes, they are. Thank you very much.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
Yep.
Okay, I would like to ask a question. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Judith. Judith.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for the introduction once more and the breakdown of how the classes will be going to. So, for my own end, is more of like an appeal because I have zero knowledge of the whole thing that has been listed out. I think the only thing I have a little knowledge of is Excel. So my appeal is to the teachers to really like bring out time and really guide us because I really want to learn the course I want and I want to do well and maybe change career wise. I'd like to become a data analyst. So I really appeal to the teachers to really like break it down for people like us who have almost zero knowledge of what we're about to get ourselves into. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hi, Judith. So, be very much assured that Datafied, this is like what we do. This is what we are passionate about. I don't know if you listened to the introduction where we say we take the complexity and break it down to an individual so that they can understand it just like the way 5-year-old can. So I'm going to break it to like the simplest form. Honestly, trust me, you will not be stranded. And I can also assure you that everyone here on this call is a beginner, one way or the other. They will really not explore this space per se. So you are in the right hands, you are in the right space. I will just employ you to really put what we tell you to do into practice. We are going to do the work, but you also have to do the work as well. We are going to teach you, trust me. just get ready. It's going to be really detailed and very, very easy to understand. We'll make you understand it the way we understand it as professionals. We're already working in this space, so we know we work with data like every day. So this is what we do for a living. And if I'm not able to break it down to you, then I've not been able to achieve anything. So you see, it's like we are saying it from our own perspective, and we are always out to make you understand it. And we always carry everyone along, trust me. So you're in the right hands, don't be scared. Thank you for raising that up, but definitely that's what will happen as the course progresses. And
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Judith. Just know that we do not assume anything. Like we don't assume that anybody has any background knowledge.
yes.
So we take it from the very basics and walk you through from it. But our appeal again, just try to do your part. Whatever we ask you to do, please do it. That's the only place we've had issues before. We did our part, but some students did not do theirs. And all right, so that is it. Then let me go to deep. Thank you. Okay, so in less than 4 minutes, this meeting will be coming to an end because we have a maximum time of 2 hours. Some few minutes to six. I mean, what am I saying? Yes, some few minutes to six. Yeah, some few minutes to six. So if you still have any more questions, please feel free to ask your questions. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. I believe we've had a very amazing time getting to know each other and talking about the course. So at this point, we would like to take a group picture, please. This is where we need you to just turn on your cameras and let's just take a group picture before we go. So please, guys, please, just for a second or two, kindly turn on your camera and then we'll take these pictures. I want to take two different types of pictures. One, I'm going to take a group picture with everyone's camera on. Then I'll take another picture with the welcome page. The welcome page and everyone's camera on. So please turn on your camera. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I do appreciate. I can see beautiful and handsome faces. Thank you. We're waiting for Miracle. Miracle, who else? We're waiting for Blessing. Miracle and Blessing, please, waiting for you. Quickly turn on your camera, just 1 second or two, and we are done. So just give me that lovely smile. All right, wait a minute. Okay, just hold on. I need to take one more. Please just give me a minute. Just hold on. Pick one. Go to my desktop. Sorry. Okay. All right. So pick two. Just one more, please. I'm sorry. I just need to have. Now I want to share my screen with your faces on the screen, and then I want the welcome. All right, this part to show your faces on the screen. Okay, just give me a minute. So one more, then we are done. All right, so just hold on. No. I do not want. What am I supposed to do? Okay, just hold on. Please hold on. Let me share my entire screen for this because I want to capture everything well, right? All right, so I think this is the perfect. Is it? This is not. Is it? Oh my God, this is not. How do I capture? I'm trying to share my screen so that I don't get the notification I'm getting. Sorry.
Okay, you can use this keyboard shortcut, Windows Shift S, so to bring out the snip.
That is not the issue I'm having. The issue I'm having is that it's showing me that notification, that caution sign, and I don't want it to show. I want everybody's face to show very well. Let me just ignore and see what happens. Okay,
Caution.
this is fine. So I've ignored, yeah, I can see everybody now and I can see my screen. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so give me the beautiful smile again, everyone. So let's take this for the last time. Sorry, just give me a minute. Okay, I'm coming. This for the last time. Give me the smile. Say cheese. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate, and it's good to have every one of you
Thank
on the
you,
call.
everyone.
This has bring
It's
this
good to
session.
see your faces, though.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank you for
all
the
right.